You don't feel sad. You don't feel depressed. And yet, you don't enjoy things anymore. Music doesn't hit the same. Movies feel dull. Conversations feel empty. Even things you once loved feel distant. And the most confusing part is this: nothing is obviously wrong. Your life looks fine. You're functioning. You're doing what needs to be done. So what's happening? Here's the truth most people never hear. Losing enjoyment isn't always a mood problem. It's often a nervous system problem. When your brain stays under stress for too long, it doesn't just shut down pain, it shuts down pleasure too. This is called emotional blunting. Your mind goes into survival mode. Not panic, not fear, just endurance. And survival mode has one rule: don't feel too much. Because feeling takes energy, and your system believes energy is scarce. So joy becomes unnecessary. Excitement becomes risky. Curiosity becomes optional. You don't feel broken. You feel flat. That's why people say, "I'm not sad, I'm just numb. I don't feel bad, I just don't feel much." This doesn't come from one bad day. It builds slowly. From always being busy, always available, always responsible. From pushing through exhaustion. From telling yourself, "I'll rest later." Later never comes. Another reason enjoyment fades is mental overload. Your brain is constantly processing. Notifications, decisions, expectations, pressure. Even during rest, your mind is still working. Scrolling isn't rest. Distraction isn't rest. So when it's time to enjoy something, your brain is already tired. Not bored, not uninterested, just depleted. There's also something deeper. When you've been disappointed enough times, your mind learns a quiet lesson. Don't get excited. It only leads to letdown. So without realizing it, you stop leaning into joy. You stop expecting pleasure. You stop opening fully. This is protection, not failure. That's why motivation doesn't fix it. Forcing happiness doesn't work. Because the problem isn't effort, it's safety. Your nervous system doesn't feel safe enough to relax into enjoyment. So what do? First, stop blaming yourself. You're not lazy. You're not ungrateful. You're not broken. You're overstimulated, overextended, and under-rested in ways sleep alone can't fix. Second, understand this. Enjoyment returns indirectly. Not by chasing joy, but by reducing pressure. Less stimulation, fewer expectations, more quiet moments with no outcome. Moments where nothing is required of you. Joy doesn't respond to force. It responds to permission. Permission to slow down. Permission to feel bored. Permission to not perform. And slowly, subtly, your system starts to thaw. Music feels a little warmer. Laughter feels a little easier. Presence feels possible again. Not all at once, but enough to remind you your joy isn't gone. It's resting. And when your nervous system finally feels safe enough, it will come back on its own. If this video felt uncomfortably accurate, that's not a diagnosis. That's awareness. And awareness is always the first step back to yourself.